When you can't deal with the chapters I've already lived, maybe you shouldn't be part of my story. She snapped the night her former boyfriend appeared outside her apartment holding a bouquet. Fair enough, I replied calmly, grabbed my jacket, and walked away. Not long after, history repeated itself. Her past came knocking again, breaking her heart just like before, and when she tried to return to my doorstep, I never opened the door. Some people are meant to stay in closed chapters. Anyway, hey folks, before we dive further into this story, don't forget to follow the page and drop a like if you enjoy stories like this. Thanks. I first crossed paths with Lena about 3 years ago at a friend's rooftop birthday party in Riverside Bay, a coastal town buzzing with creatives and freelancers. She was magnetic, sharp humor, bold presence, the kind of person who makes everyone feel like they're exactly where they should be. I'm Mason, mid-30s, cybersecurity analyst, steady income. Simple lifestyle, nothing glamorous, but I'm known for being consistent. The guy who stands by his word, and that reliability was, according to her, what pulled her toward me initially. Things started beautifully. She'd recently escaped a chaotic relationship with Evan, smooth-talking travel vlogger, always hopping countries, full of promises, yet never grounded. He betrayed her repeatedly, shattered her confidence, left her questioning her worth. I stood by her midnight calls, deleting his number from her phone, sitting in waiting rooms during her counseling sessions, never forcing, just supporting. When she got laid off from her design studio due to budget cuts, I quietly paid the rent for a while, cooked dinner, planned peaceful dates like beach sunsets and quiet documentary nights, skipped road trips and gaming weekends with friends, just to make sure she didn't feel alone. I remember one evening, about half a year into USU, curled on my sofa, clutching her phone after Evan tried slipping back into her messages. "Why do people come back only to break me again?" she whispered through tears. I wrapped my arms around her and murmured, "You're not weak. You're resilient, Hand. He's just a parasite who hates losing what he no longer deserves." That night, she told me I was the first man who ever made her feel protected. And I didn't just believe how I lived like that was my purpose. But slowly, hairline fractures appeared. Lena never completely removed Evan from her world. She'd drop his name casually. "Oh, Evan messaged me this old road trip photo," then dismiss my discomfort as insecurity. She'd post old memories on Instagram, sunlit pictures of them at a coastal festival captioned, "Wild Summers." Hashtag throwback, and when I asked why she needed to keep that chapter alive, she'd sigh, "They're just memories, Mason. Everyone has a history. If nostalgia threatens you, that's your issue." I tried to be patient. No one is flawless. But it piled up. She'd subtly compare us. Evan was so impulsive. We'd just pack a bag and go, while I was the one actually booking flights and planning vacations responsibly. It was emotional whiplash. One day she'd hold my hand like I was her future. The next, she'd look lost in fantasies of a guy who shattered her. I gave everything thinking consistency would win. But now I see I was simply the repair station while she romanticized the wreckage. Things exploded one quiet evening after work. I got home to our loft, nothing fancy, but ours. Both names on the list, carrying her favorite sushi, ready for a movie night. And there he was, Evan, standing inside our living room with sunflowers in hand, wearing that smug travel-a-charm grin like he still belonged. Lena wasn't pushing him away though, just standing there, arms loosely folded, like my arrival interrupted something private. "What's going on?" I asked, setting the food down, pulse racing, refusing to raise my voice. Lena shot me a look that felt more irritated than guilty. Evan leaned against the table, casual like he owned the air in the room. "Just stopped by to catch up," she said, tone light, as if flowers from an ex in our home was normal. "Catching up?" I echoed, eyes on the bouquet sitting on our coffee table. Evan laughed softly. "Relax, man. There's no rivalry here. We just have history." I ignored him and faced her. "Lena, we've talked about boundaries. Why is he here?" She crossed her arms, voice sharpening. "Boundaries? You sound like you're policing me. He's part of where I come from. He knows me in ways you, Dan, the real me, the chaos, the flaws. You just want everything organized and predictable. If you can't accept that I have a past, maybe this isn't working," she snapped. A past that involved him betraying you over and over. I replied, keeping my voice calm, and now he's back with flowers in our home. Seriously? She brushed it aside. People grow. We're just friends now. But if you're going to spiral every time someone from my life reaches out, that's exhausting. I need room to figure things out without you hovering. Figure things out. The words hit hard. It wasn't just nostalgia. This was her testing the waters again. The comparisons, the old photos, the excuses. I'd been the safe harbor she healed in, not the destination. Yeah, she continued, voice sharper. You've been wonderful, Mason. The dependable guy. But Evan, he sparks something in me. He brings passion. You're steady, but steady can get dull. I care about you, but I don't know if I'm in love anymore. If my past bothers you that much, maybe you should find someone with no baggage. And there it was. The sentence burned into memory. If you can't handle my past, maybe you should leave. She said it like she was exposing a flaw in me, not in her choices. Evan stood there nodding sympathetically, but the satisfaction in his eyes was impossible to miss. It felt dismissive, brutal, as if 2 years of devotion weighed nothing beside a history that had already shattered her once. No apology, no accountability. Just twisted logic that framed her unresolved chaos as my shortcoming. I paused in the stillness of that room, only the subtle hum of the air purifier filling the silence. A part of me wanted to list everything I sacrificed. Every night I pieced her together. But pleading for respect wasn't the man I wanted to be. Good call, I said quietly. I grabbed my keys from the hook, pulled on my coat, and left. No drama, no slammed doors, just clarity. I heard her voice behind me. Mason, wait, that's not what I meant. But I didn't turn around. Maybe Evan fist bumped her after I left. Wouldn't surprise me. That night, I crashed on my friend Julian's couch and started planning my exit. That was the breakup. No drawn-out speeches, just her truth on display, and me choosing dignity over chaos. I didn't block her immediately. There were still practical things to sort out. But inside, I had already disconnected. The following days blurred into calm, focused steps, packing my belongings. Emailing the landlord and sending her short, business-like messages. Asterisk, the next morning I sent a simple message. I'll swing by tomorrow to pick up my things while you're at work. Her replies came rapid fire, confused at first. Wait, you're actually leaving? Then defensive. Fine, do whatever you want. I didn't entertain it. When I arrived, I quietly packed my clothes, my books, my gear left behind the furniture we bought together. I didn't need souvenirs of chaos. I transferred the utilities out of my name, even paid my share of the upcoming month's rent. Then I moved into a small studio across Harbor District temporary, silent and mine. Those first few weeks hit harder than I expected. I'd stare at the ceiling, replaying everything. How she tossed aside what we built for someone who'd burned her before. I remembered turning down a job that required travel because she hated being alone, skipping road trips to steady her life, planning holidays she once called magical, now all reduced to nothing. I didn't numb it with flings or drunken nights. Instead, I journaled like I used to in college, listing red flags. Emotional whiplash moments, gaslighting, disguised as nostalgia. It helped me shift from heartbroken to clear-headed. I doubled down on my career, finally took the promotion I'd paused, with better pay and remote flexibility. Started hitting the gym, not for some revenge arc, but for clarity. Reconnected with friends, hiked, joined a local basketball league, even tried therapy where the counselor summed it up cleanly: you were loyal beyond reason. Now, you're learning boundaries. My inner narrative changed from maybe I could have saved it to I deserve more than being someone's emotional rehab. After a month, I unblocked Lena, only to finalize mail forwarding and loose ends, no stalking, no messaging. Then reality caught up to her. Mutual friends started reaching out with cautious hope, "You're doing okay" texts, and eventually the whole picture surfaced. Lena had moved in with Evan not long after. I left and proudly posted about rekindled sparks. #new beginnings. Their circle applauded her for following her heart. But within weeks, he fell back into his patterns, flirting with coworkers, Late-night projects, the classic routine. One mutual friend, Naomi, filled me in over coffee. Lena caught him messaging another woman. He denied it, then shrugged. You always knew what I'm like. She tried to fix the sinking ship. He ghosted her after a blowout fight, leaving her with half the rent and boxes of his junk. Around the same time, she got fired, performance issues from personal chaos. People distanced themselves, realizing how recklessly she discarded stability. Her reputation flipped from radiant party spark to a cautionary headline. She spiraled into lonely, cryptic posts about broken trust and hard lessons. I didn't celebrate it, just confirmed I'd escaped a loop. Then the messages began. 5 weeks post-breakup, a simple text. Hey Mason, can we talk? I miss you. I deleted it. Then came calls, voicemails. One evening while I was cooking pasta, I answered. Her voice trembled. Mason, I messed up. Evan cheated again. I'm sorry. You were the good one. The stable one. I need you. I stirred the pot calmly. Okay, a beat of silence. Just okay? She pleaded. You told me I was boring. That passion mattered more than loyalty, I replied. I was confused, stressed he manipulated me, she insisted. No, I said, steady and final. You justified what you wanted. I'm not your repairman anymore. She tried nostalgia. What about the sunsets, the road trips, how you held me together? I exhaled softly. I miss what I thought we weren't this version. I ended the call and blocked her again. She escalated emails unknown numbers. Then her sister Avery called, entitled as ever, She's hurting because of you? Be mature and go talk to her, I replied. Did she mention inviting Evan over with flowers and telling me to leave if I couldn't handle her past? Avery deflected, guilt-tripping. I hung up. Friends from her side tried, 2D Ms, emotional blackmail, even cornering me at the gym. You owe her closure. I walked past them without raising my voice. I owe myself peace. Soon, messages from new numbers popped up. This isn't you, answer. But it was me finally choosing myself. The calls eventually shifted from pleading to resentment. With one voicemail searing into memory, Mason, answer me. I know you're reading this. Evan left me with nothing. I'm broke, getting kicked out. You promised you'd always be there. How can you abandon me now? You're no different from him. The transformation was stark regret, turning into accusation. Her true nature showing as she blamed me for the chaos created by her own decisions. Meanwhile, my life had stabilized. I moved into a quiet loft near Riverside Park, settled into my new role at work, even started dating casually a woman named Tessa from my climbing club. Compassionate and calm, without emotional landmines. The final confrontation happened about 3 months after the breakup at a small housewarming gathering, just close friends. Drinks, music in the background, Tessa laughing on the couch. When I opened the door, there stood Lena Hare, unkempt, eyes swollen, clutching a tote like she'd stormed out mid-crisis. She stared past me into the warm room, visibly shaken by the contrast between my grounded life and her unraveling. Mason, please, I need you. I know now you were the right one. Evan destroyed me, but we can rebuild. I'll change. No more past, just us. I stayed in the doorway, voice steady. No, Lena, she broke down, begging. I'm sorry for everything, the comparisons, pushing you away. I lost my job. Friends won't talk to me. I'm alone. You have to help. I shook my head. I don't have to rescue anyone. You told me to leave if I couldn't handle your past, so I did. And I've built a better life without it. She spotted Tessa behind me, and bitterness flared. So you replaced me. Not replaced, I said calmly. I moved on. I'm choosing peace and people who value me. You're not part of that anymore. Tears turned to anger. That's cruel. No, I replied softly. That's closure. You belong to a chapter I've finished reading. When her expression twisted with spite, I simply closed the door. Not slammed, just final. I turned back to my guests, letting the moment dissolve into laughter and conversation. A year later, Tessa and I are engaged. Steady love, equal effort, no ghosts from the past. As for Lena, last I heard she's drifting from job to job. Still posting about self-growth? Everything is blocked now. Life gets lighter when you stop carrying what was never yours to fix.